episode 124
Pretty good.
episode of Film Banter.
Film Banter.
That's right, we're here to banter about film, the expose of movies, cinema, the
And
canvas,
occasional TV shows.
the canvas of screen. I would like to bring to the point of the people of Earth and the commoners out there like yourselves that we are, in fact, within 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, we possibly will be doing a show back down in our beloved Secaucus home front.
It's definitely a possibility.
I know, it is indeed.
I had a good conversation with our friend Adam down there.
Indeed.
And, it might be something that we can do.
Now,
We'll
some of these
play
people,
around with some green screen.
some of these people don't know him from Adam.
But
But you know,
he's here all night, guys.
he's here all night. Please tip your waitress.
Yeah. And this is the first time I think you've ever worn a white shirt.
It's very possible.
You're always either dark blue,
I'm kind of glowing in the dark this
black,
evening.
or sometimes even the jean top. The jean
I have
long
worn the
sleeve.
jean top. In
With-
fact, I believe in the original, if you look at the opening clip, where it shows me down in the basement,
I think there's one
I
with
believe
you
I'm
that.
wearing
I
the
think you
jean
are.
shirt.
Which with the jeans is
It's
a
possible.
Canadian tuxedo. You've heard of that, right?
Of course.
Which is
Well,
kind of funny.
Well,
It's
I don't know what it's
weird-
called. It's called a Texas tuxedo.
Oh, well, I've also heard of it being called a Canadian tuxedo.
Why would it be a Canadian?
I don't know, but that's what I was. That's how I learned it. Somebody told me that's a Canadian tuxedo. I'm like, really? I
No,
never
it
heard
would
that
also
term.
be the
Texas makes sense.
Texas tuxedo.
You should have that little bow tie thing with the bolo.
Oh, you
with
mean
the strings.
the lobo? The
The lo-
logo?
lo-
No, it's called
Lobo, right?
No, it's called
Bolo.
a bolo.
Bolo.
Called a bolo.
Bolo, yeah.
My
bolo.
grandfather used to wear those all the time.
Cool.
It was like a silver thing.
Yep,
He used
yep.
to pull it. It was a hang down like
Old
a tie.
timer.
But it was kind of the Indian. It was like the American.
Yeah, Native
Indian.
American or down
Kinda came
south.
from,
Yeah,
precisely.
That's
Kind of
cool.
came from that. Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
When I was
You know,
at
you are blocking the screen a little bit, perhaps.
a little bit, no, not that much, just a little bit. That's fine. People can
Well,
see it.
all right, but see, I'm a little further over, but I think you should move over a notch.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, you really are. You're blocking our Stranger Things.
How's this better?
There you
That's
go.
better.
That's fine.
All
That's
right,
fine.
just the angle.
Well, all right.
What's
Tonight
that?
we
What's
ate at La Hacienda, which was
La
the-
Hacienda Don Miguel. Miguel.
Is that the name of it?
It's called It's called La Hacienda Don Miguel, Lafayette Street in Suffern. Excellent Mexican food. Feel free to check it out,
It is
guys.
72 Lafayette Street,
Yeah,
by the way. I
it
noticed
definitely
the,
is.
I noticed the
It is
thing
72.
tonight. The
Very
most beautiful thing about this place is the menu. It is a
It's an
magnificent
impressive menu.
leather menu.
It's leather bound. It smells like a wallet.
like leather. It
Yeah,
smells
it's
like
beautiful.
boots. It smells like a good leather
And the
jacket.
logo on the front of it, it's like got this like emblem and the name of the restaurant, and it's like it's almost
No,
stamped
it's
on the
embossed.
front of it. It's embossed. Yeah,
It is indeed.
It's like in
It's
there.
been carved, but it's
Carved.
obviously been done on a, they do the whole opening
Of course,
back and front sheet, and they stamp
They
it.
do,
But
yeah.
boy, my God, what a
very,
lovely
very
job. Very impressive.
It's a nice little detail that you don't see that often.
It's a wonderful place. I love the ambience.
I like it a lot.
It's a very good.
We walk in there. There's nobody in there but us. Well, no,
Very
that's not true.
generous, very generous.
But
They bring
not
you
a
the
lot of people.
chips and the salsa.
That's
Big
standard.
bowl. Yeah,
Yeah.
but usually, you go to the Chili's or whatever, or
Well, there you
or
got to pay for it. It's
south
not
of
even
the border.
free. No, Chili's you have to pay for it,
No,
but it's like
not
this.
often. If you're in the Chili's,
Well, if you have the club
monthly
thing,
club,
that's different.
you get it. But south of, no, who's the other place next to Chili? South of the border.
Well, that's the other
There
one they
it's
own.
free.
Breaker owns that.
There it is free.
Yeah.
You get the
that's,
chips and the salsa free.
That's no, it's called on the border.
On the border?
I like on the border.
South of the border.
No, south of the border is that crazy fireworks and memorabilia store in South Carolina that you start seeing signs for once you hit the Carolinas when
No,
you're driving
that's
down
Stuckey's.
south. No, it's called south of the border.
No, but when you're driving down south and suddenly you're hearing gospel stations, you see Stuckey's, 49 miles. That's
Well,
Stuckey's, 32
well, you
miles.
see that too, but you also see the
Stuckey's.
signs for the store south of the border.
Yeah.
When I went to Florida, we saw that for hours and hours before we were even in South Carolina.
The real joke, though, was because I used to go down to Florida to go to college down there, and you'd be driving, and literally 300 miles away, 200 miles away,
Yeah.
you'd see
It
Stuckey's,
starts, yeah.
Stuckey's, big,
Smart advertising.
Exactly. And then, 300, 280
'Cause you
miles,
gotta stop.
230. No, you get to Stuckey's, it's this tiny
I know.
little dump of a
That's
store.
what we expected with south of the
Nothing.
border.
Nothing
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
But south of the border, I believe, sold fireworks. It
Yeah,
was
and a
one
lot of other
places.
things. Yeah, it was
True.
Yeah, it was just
It was
a
one of those
general
places you
store
could
kind of
buy
thing.
pretty much whatever.
But they hyped it up just like the Stuckey, same thing.
Exactly.
Stuckey's was fine.
But hey, it works.
I guess they still have Stuckey's. I wonder if they do.
Honestly, I've never heard of it, but maybe they still
Really?
do.
Never heard of Stuckey's?
Never. Granted,
Well-
I've only driven to Florida once.
You could probably do a quick search on your phone.
I
and
could,
see
but my
if
phone's
Stuckey's-
charging in the other room.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, shall we begin?
Let's begin. We're
we have
gonna
an
be
incredible show tonight.
doing some good stuff tonight.
I do look very strong. I look very wide, in fact.
Well,
It looks
white
like-
is not
Not
very.
a good-
It's not kind. White to
very
anybody.
often, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Especially me, because the only light I ever get is opening my refrigerator
Exactly.
door.
It's true.
So, I look fairly white to begin with. So now I look like, Conan O'Brien bleached, which is probably not a good thing.
Not a good
I
thing.
don't get a lot of light, it's true.
It's all right. But,
But,
we're doing tonight Stranger
We are
Things
doing,
season 3.
the entire episode, the entire season 3.
Yes, of
of
Stranger Things.
which I thought it was an excellent season.
Yeah, we'll just start with that. We're also going to do a few other films just so you guys know what else is coming. We're doing a bunch of basically just streaming things tonight.
Yeah.
We're doing The Professor, which is a new film available with Johnny
it's out
Depp.
on Blu-ray. It came out last Tuesday.
And it's on streaming platforms.
It is.
The same thing for The Public, which is new to streaming platforms and video.
Written and directed by
Emilio
Emilio
Estevez.
Estevez.
I believe
Charlie
it's
Sheen,
his
little brother.
5th feature film or 6th feature film as a director-writer. And he usually stars in his own films too.
Okay.
It's the first film he's made as a filmmaker, I believe, that does not have his father or his brother Charlie in it.
There you go.
And then we're also going to be doing Teen Spirit with Elle Fanning, which is a film that just recently came out. And then Daryl is going to do a brief little
expose
commentary
of the, Jessica Jones,
Jones.
which is also the Marvel.
The final
just
season.
had their final third season.
Yeah.
So
So you got some good stuff. So
Okay.
let's begin with Stranger Things.
let's do it, dude.
I thought it was a great season.
Me too.
I loved it.
All right, what else?
Then we're done.
What's next?
No, it was really good.
We can talk about it. This to me was the third season. Very often with a series such as this is the deciding season. Sometimes they can do the first season's always the killer.
Yeah.
Then the second season is kind of you're kind of coming off the remnants. It's like having The Big Bang Theory on right after
I know what you're saying.
or a show that's not very well known right after the Super Bowl. It's like the second season, you've already got the audience.
Now you got to keep
built-in
the audience.
Now you got to keep the audience.
Expand on the ideas.
And you have to get the ideas out there a little further. You've got to embellish the characters, deepen the characters, make the character. I can't stand this goddamn kid though. He just
You like
look
him?
at this hair. The hair. Everybody's wearing
That's
lipstick.
Finn Wolfhard.
Even our everybody wears lipstick in this.
I know they do.
in this show. Every single person. You can really see my gut sticking out now. Is it that bad?
It's because you're full.
Maybe I am full.
He just ate a huge plate of tacos like this.
I did indeed. Here she is, the magnificent
Millie Bobby Brown.
Lily Bobby Brown,
Star
who
of the
is
show.
the offspring of Whitney Houston and
The highest
Bobby
paid
Brown.
child on the show.
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, she should be.
Yeah. She gets 300 grand per episode, I believe.
Does she?
Or 350 grand.
Well, that's not very much because an hour episode probably takes them a week, 2 weeks.
About
to
a week
do.
to shoot on average.
Probably so.
And
And
then
we have Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's
daughter. She's
right
very
there.
good in this show.
She's very good.
And her name
And
is...
she had a big part.
What's her name? I have it here.
It's not Hawke.
No.
We have our little toothless guy over here, who actually looks. He
that's
has very African features. Look at the
Gatin
lipstick.
Matarazzo.
Look at the lipstick on
Yeah.
the table. They can't see it because it's blocked by you.
It's fine.
No, they can't see.
Yes, they can see it.
I don't think so.
I can see it on the monitor. They can see it.
Yeah, but he was hiding
It's like
behind your
girl's name.
shoulder.
It's
there.
bugging me now. His
Look,
daughter.
lipstick. Look at the lipstick.
They're all wearing lipstick.
Everybody
Get
has
over it.
lipstick. It bothers me. And then
Yeah.
you look at Winona Ryder, and it's like she doesn't have lipstick.
I know. True. But anyway,
I
I
don't
thought I
know
wrote
if
her
he
name
has
down.
lipstick, Mr.
David Harbour. If he does, it's covered
I
by the mustache.
Yeah, it is pretty
But
much.
him and Winona Ryder are paid, I think, a little more than Millie, but they're close, all three of them.
They should be.
They're the three highest paid actors
They
on the
should
show.
be, indeed. Anyway, they do pretty well. I think they embellished the characters a little more so
Mm-hmm.
this time. I think that the plot was good. I thought that they kept up a good, momentum as far as the whole thing went. I really did enjoy the first season a lot.
Yeah, I know.
The first season is always the best of anything. Gary Busey.
Gary Busey's
Jr.
son, Jake.
Jake Busey.
It was good
right?
seeing him.
I thought he was
He
very
played
good.
like a good jackass.
Well, it's like father, like son.
Yeah.
We have that.
I love her, Natalia Dalla. She's very good.
Very good.
She's got a lot to do
A
with
little
this season.
too much makeup on
Little
her.
gothy?
Well, look, the rouge and the heavy lipstick, heavy eyebrows.
This guy was good.
This kid was dynamite.
He's good.
He was in the second one also.
Yeah, that's.
And,
I have his name here.
He's.
Dacker Montgomery. I heard he's getting a big role in. He's up for a big role in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's excellent.
This guy's good. Charlie Heaton. He's very
he was
good.
very good.
He's British.
Is he?
Yeah, a lot of these actors are British.
Interesting. Who else is British?
She's British.
Well, Millie Bobby is.
She's
correct.
British. We have. There's a few other ones. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But I thought it was a good season. This season, for those of you who have seen it, you know.
Carrie Hughes.
Carrie Elways.
Carrie Elways. I'm terribly sorry.
He plays
He looks
that
like
douchey mayor.
right, and
Yeah.
well, you have a friend, of course, as do I.
I know you
Mr.
say
Jason
that. My brother-in-law
Dale.
Jason looks like.
Jason does look a little like Jason. If you're out there watching, you do look a little like
Yeah.
Carrie Elways there.
But this
Don't
show,
worry.
if you've seen the season, or if you don't, it centers around this new mall that's opened up in the town where these kids live.
Now this little girl here
Yes.
ends up stealing the show.
She's very
to some
funny.
Extent. She's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, she's got
Holds her
fun
own.
stuff to do in this.
Holds her own for
Yeah.
the whole thing. She's a mini geek genius kid. I thought she was.
She was very good.
Dynamite.
She's got some
I
funny
loved her.
lines.
She did indeed.
Yeah,
It's well
a very
photographed. It's well
fun
done.
season.
They kept the momentum, as I say, and that's
They
the
did,
whole
and
thing.
I really enjoyed the whole mall aspect.
Did you?
I loved that. I thought it was fun because as a kid, a mall is a big thing. It's where you socialize with your
Where you
friends.
go.
I mean, for me, my friends, once we all got our driver's licenses, or just one of us did, we would all Friday night. What are you gonna do? We're gonna go to the mall.
Let's go to the mall.
Every Friday night, my
I
friends and
know.
I were at the Garden State Plaza.
Yeah.
And then even in middle school, your parents would maybe drop you off,
I
pick
know.
you up. It's just it's got everything.
That's true.
And so this really
Little
capitalizes
girl, 10 years
on
old,
that.
lipstick.
Yeah, I know. And then there was a whole secret kind of conspiratorial thing going on with them all.
Well,
The secrets underneath it. It's got a long. Well, I don't want to give away any spoilers to those who haven't seen it, but there's more to it than meets the eye. This guy was funny. He's like a conspiracy nut. He was in the last season as well.
having just watched Game of Thrones as I just did, I just watched the entire eight
Yes.
seasons. I did, and I found a very strong correlation. Any great series now will have literally 5, 6, even 7 mini plots going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So we literally are jumping from plot to plot to plot to plot to characters
Exactly.
to characters, and then eventually they kind of all meet
all
up,
join
or
up, yeah.
culminate in some big walloping smash bang
Yeah.
finale or whatever. But I thought that we have a creature in this film.
As we
this-
do in the other seasons.
This is the creature right
Yeah.
here. He's a big globular. I will say this about this season. This was the most violent season
It was pretty violent.
I
yeah.
have ever seen. I
Yeah.
mean, we had some point blank gun shootings.
We did.
I was rather surprised. I mean, it's not really a kid's show, this particular.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's teenagers, but under 10, I would say be cautious.
Yeah, I would have to say.
Yeah.
So, maybe, we should put a mask on you the next time.
Maybe
Don't
we
wanna
should.
Affect you. Now, look, she's practically the only one not wearing lipstick
a little
here.
bit.
Which is cool.
But she's really great.
I really love
seeing
Winona.
Winona.
Me too.
Because she wasn't around for a while.
It's a great comeback. She's now on some commercial doing, Chanel number 5 or whatever.
One of
and
those
she's talking
things, yeah.
about what a great comeback. In fact,
She's
that's the name
aged
of the
very well.
perfume.
She looks great.
She's a very beautiful gal.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
is.
I
I don't know if she's got kids or anything. I don't know much about her.
don't know much about her. I know that she did just declare that she was, in fact, still married to Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's right. That whole
Because
thing is
she
funny.
did
yeah.
something in the movie.
In the movie that we
Dracula.
watched. Yes.
No, in Dracula.
In Dracula, yes.
She was
but it came
married.
out when they were doing press for that movie we covered a while back, where they go to a wedding, destination wedding, whatever it's called.
Right.
That's when it started being a talking point for the interviews.
Okay.
But yeah, they apparently got married, allegedly for real, on the set of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
But because they had a real officiant come in to do the scene.
Oh, okay.
And so they technically were really married.
Maybe so. But I think they were married under their character name.
Yeah, they didn't say Winona
As
and
opposed
Keanu.
to Winona and Keanu. I like Keanu in that film.
Yeah.
He always plays the same wooden character, regardless. But
He's
that's
come
who
a
he
long
is.
way, though. I think as an actor, he's gotten better.
I think so too.
I
I
think
think
so.
he's opened up a little more.
A lot of actors get better with age. I mean, who's
Yeah.
gotten really, to me, noticeably better. Not that he was ever a bad actor, but I really feel that Kevin Costner now is better than he ever has been.
Oh, Kevin Costner.
He's really good
I think
now.
he's always been good, though.
I don't know. There were periods of time where I
Field of
didn't
Dreams,
care for
I
him.
thought he was great. Well, he had a whole middle surge of stuff. He did that.
Some weaker stuff.
3 days.
Well, that was good. 13 Days?
Was it
About the
13
Cuban
days?
Missile Crisis.
The Cuban Missile.
I like that film.
But then there was the other one that he did that I didn't like, and he was on the run. It was a Clint Eastwood film. He's on the
Oh,
run.
you know,
with
I
a
never
little
saw
kid.
that one, The Perfect World.
Oh, I didn't care for that
Yeah,
at all.
I didn't see that
just
one.
did not like that film. But I think he was great. He also did a little. He did a movie about his. It was a horror film. Well, he did two. He did Mr. Brooks. Did you ever see
With
Mr.
Dane
Brooks?
Know
I love that film.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
That was
I know
great.
Demi Moore's in it too.
Oh God!
Yeah.
You should check it out.
I know. Well, you told me to watch it years ago.
I
have it at home, I just haven't
telling you to
watched
watch it now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. In one ear.
And then he did that movie Dragonfly about his dead wife, right? That was I don't know if that was a horror though.
No, there's
That's more
another
like a
one that no, I didn't
drama.
care for. Dragonfly was okay, but he did one about his daughter, and she's buried in by a tree or something. Name escapes me. It was only about 4 years old, probably, but it was one of the
Doesn't
films
sound
that he
familiar
did.
with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, absolute. Yeah, it was a horror film, most assuredly.
Oh,
so.
yeah, that doesn't sound
It
familiar. I have to look
reminded
that
me
up.
of Premonition a little bit with that Sandra Bullock film.
Oh, I know that movie. Yeah.
But anyway, a lot of leaves, moving around and things like that. But as far as this particular series goes, yeah, they did a great job, and they kept up the momentum, as I keep saying over and over, and I'll keep saying they keep up the momentum, and I'll keep up the momentum of saying they keep up the momentum. But yeah, I thought it was well done, and it just it did what it was supposed to do, and I think that they are over the third series curse, if you will. That they've proven that they can really put on a bona fide good show. Very well directed, beautifully
Yeah, well,
shot.
they have their stable of directors. And
They do.
The creators themselves, the Duffer Brothers, they generally have written and directed a lot of the episodes, not all of them.
I
but
saw, yeah.
They're
Well, I did
heavily
the last one,
involved.
of course.
I think they did maybe 2 or 3 this season, and they're heavily involved in the whole thing. And so
No, they right.
it's very
they,
much their baby.
They
you
had
know?
a lawsuit against them for, I believe it was the first season.
I heard that. Yeah.
And they won the lawsuit,
Good.
so they proved that they did in fact write their own material.
And you
They
know, there's a
didn't-
lot of shows, to go back to your thought about the third season, that sometimes they really get their groove on the third season.
Well,
Like Seinfeld,
exactly.
for example,
Yeah.
took off on the third season.
Probably so.
Yeah, the first season nobody knew they were there.
Right.
The second season they started getting some viewers.
Yep.
Third is when they blew up.
Oh wow.
You know, and I think that this show hit a really interesting mark with the third season with this whole thing with the mall. It just seems like a very logical next step
Well-
when you're doing this thing of 80s nostalgia. One of the touchstones that you're going to have to go to is the mall, because it was 80s, very big. The malls. I mean, you weren't a kid in the 80s. I
Not
was
so big anymore.
Not so now. Malls are
Unfortunately,
dying.
Now they're dying.
But in the 80s, it was everything.
It's true.
It was big.
Yeah, very true indeed.
You know, and
Yep.
I'm glad that they did that. I thought it was a really cool, fun concept.
Absolutely.
They shot it in an abandoned mall that was closed.
Really?
And they just dressed it. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Pretty
No,
cool.
it did a nice job.
Yeah, this had a lot of good scenes,
Yeah,
some
I
good
thought it
comedy,
was-
some good horror.
Yeah, I mean that's the key, isn't it? You know, especially
Yeah.
we did review Spider-Man last week, and just how brilliant that film was. Just
Yeah.
a great mix of comedy, visual comedy, drama, serious
And
drama,
good storytelling.
and good storytelling, and then we had pretty much the same thing here. Was that
Carrie Elwes.
Carrie? Yeah.
He plays the real
He
shit.
plays a real shithead. and
he's
that's-
good at
yeah, he
this.
does.
Yeah, and I like there was there's some references to characters from other seasons that were significant. They showed up here a couple times in
Okay.
flashback, or
All right.
maybe at the ending when a character shows up.
Yeah,
But-
this little kid right here, he's pretty much was the pinnacle of
Yeah, he was.
the last couple seasons. Here he is. And
Gatton
he does,
Matarazzo's
he
his
does
name,
wonderful Verizon Fios commercials
He does.
now. I
He's
haven't
got a
seen
band too, apparently.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but he was mostly for this season separate from the main guys.
Okay.
He was doing his own little mission, kind of.
Yeah, yeah,
He had his
yeah.
own little storyline.
Well,
Which
he's
was
a
kinda
brilliant
cool.
little kid.
He
There's no
is.
question about it, and he's a great presence on screen as
Yeah.
always, as are everybody.
Everybody.
On this particular season, I think they made a very poor choice. Possibly because a person was leaving to go on into movies or whatever, but we have a main character who passes away in this particular season. No spoilers here. But that's a big deal, and I think that they, in going into the fourth season, I think that they made a mistake. There's no way that character is going to be brought back. And
See, I disagree. I have a feeling that character might come back, without saying who it is. I think
don't
so.
see how
I think
that
possibly.
could happen. Unless there's a netherworld.
Well, there was this. Did you see the scene that came in kind of during the credits of the last episode? Where there's
I
a
did.
reference point to potential maybe.
Rewinding or Back to the Future.
No, but there's a scene that takes place where they reference that somebody might be still around, or somebody is being held captive.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you missed it.
No, I saw it, but I didn't. I
thought maybe
I assumed that the death of that person was so deathly.
Well, to me, if that character's really dead, I think that really sucks.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that character's gonna come back. I don't think that character.
I think the show is going to lose a lot.
Yeah, because that's a great
lot of its
character.
solidarity with
I agree.
that character.
But if that character did go,
Yeah.
it had a really good send off. It was an honor. You honored the character the way it went.
Yeah,
I thought.
Didn't want to.
I don't want to see
character.
it. No,
Correct,
that's
correct,
arguably
correct.
one of my favorite characters.
Me too.
If not the most.
Me too.
For me.
Indeed.
But it's still a great season.
Yeah, it's a great season.
show.
Very
I look
well
forward
done.
to season
Very
4.
nice, yeah.
4 might be the last one. I heard there might be a 5th. I'm not sure.
No, I think they already signed up for the next 2 seasons.
Well, but I remember when the first or second season came out, they said there was only going to be 5 at most. But then I read something recent that Netflix might want to just cap it at 4. I don't know. I don't see why they would want to. This thing is huge.
No way. This
It'd be
is
stupid
a
to do
cash
that.
cow for them.
I know.
They're crazy.
Everybody wants to see Stranger Things. So I hope to do 5. Leave it at 5. Don't milk it.
I'd like to see Stranger Things in real life, too.
I'm sure you would. Well, every time you look in the mirror, you see Stranger Things.
Mm-mm.
You see the things that are happening to your body.
No, I just see aging things in the mirror.
Dude, I'm
Unfortunately.
already feeling I'm only 41. I already start noticing things.
I know.
It's kind of shitty.
I know.
My uncle told me years ago, I don't recommend getting old. And it's definitely true. It sucks.
Well, all right. Let us move on
But
to
you
our
wanna move on?
next.
Yeah.
We might as well.
Yeah, we don't want to beat a dead horse.
Well, the horse.
We loved it. Check it out. Stranger
yeah, we
Things.
love to check it out.
If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Our in-depth discussion of Stranger Things has really just turned into a rather flat,
Well,
kind of
it's tough, though, like
uneventful.
we've said before.
I know, because
without
there
getting
are-
into the plot points and
Very
spoilers.
true. Very true.
It's just wonderful.
I think we did a better job on Endgame, perhaps. We didn't, a lot of spoilers in that, but.
Well, didn't we do a spoiler review? Yeah, we split it into
We
two.
did do it.
Well, that's different.
In the finale, I
We
think
could do another Stranger Things spoiler
No,
review,
it's
but
not necessary.
it's not necessary. You're right, because
Nah.
we're only going to spoil a couple things.
We're only going to spoil one thing, really.
Yeah.
You
So,
know.
all right, let's go on to The Professor.
Let's move on to the professor.
This is a film that came out of nowhere. I believe it was in the can for a while. It's listed on IMDb as 2018, but
Correct.
it didn't get released till a week ago. It's on the
Exactly.
streaming platforms. It's a simple premise. The first scene of the film, you see him at his doctor getting a stage 4 lung cancer diagnosis, saying, if you treat it, you might get 1.5 years. If you don't, you're lucky to get 6 months.
Now, I'd like to comment one thing.
Go ahead.
I'd like to say this right up front. I said to Mr. Christopher Picard, this gentleman sitting right here.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yes,
That's
you did.
correct.
I know what you're going to say.
And I said to him, hey, I got a new movie with Johnny Depp called The Professor.
Yes.
What
did I say? I know what I said.
You said, paycheck.
Well, because the trailer did not do it justice, in my opinion. It made it look like, nothing special. But I got to tell you, this movie knocked me on my ass.
I loved it.
This movie blew me
I
away.
loved it.
It's one of his best performances.
Johnny, I hope he gets nominated for an Oscar
This is an
for this
incredible
film.
movie.
He was dynamite.
I was so moved watching this movie. I didn't want it to end.
I was too.
I was shocked.
I agree.
It's
I
poignant.
totally agree. I sat
It's
here and watched
philosophical.
it. It was wonderful.
fun.
And
It's
Johnny,
great. What a job he does. Return to form.
One of the unfortunate things about it is, very often I couldn't help it that he's so out of it quite a bit. There's so much drunkenness going on and so much just, he's just.
For him, that's easy to do these days.
Well,
he's done it so many
I
times.
was just wondering, this man can act in his sleep, and I'm sure he does. From time to time, he probably has a nightmare and reverts back into an old Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow movie or something. But, just his whole demeanor and, the ability to act drunk and to act a little out of it is difficult to do.
You don't want to overdo it.
Very often there have been movies and the characters have had to drink. And I remember, I think John Belushi or maybe it was a Jim Carrey or somebody and said, okay, let me try actually drinking the liquor or whatever it is, the booze, and see if I can act under that, and it never worked.
They say the way to act drunk is to act like you're not drunk. Like you're trying as you're trying to play drunk person. They say You want to act as if you're a drunk person who doesn't want anybody to know that he's drunk.
There you go.
You're trying to play it straight.
Well, it depends.
One of the
I mean-
masters was Foster Brooks. Holy
Well,
shit. That guy was amazing.
Well, yeah, but he was always doing the roasts.
He was the roasts, yeah.
I don't even know if he was in any. He
So-
probably was in one or two films.
Yeah, yeah. What was this? Was he a comedian? What was his
He was
deal?
a comedian.
So
he started out on
so funny.
on the Dean Martin show many years ago, and he just came up, and Dean was always have the drink in his hand.
That was the big running joke.
And that
But
was
he
the-
actually wasn't a big drinker,
He
apparently.
wasn't a big drinker at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Dean was a total loner. He would just, Frank and Sammy and Joey Bishop, Peter Lawford, they'd all run
Yeah.
off and go to the casinos. They'd all pick up women, bring them back to the room.
Yeah.
Dean just went up to his room by himself and watched TV and maybe had a drink or so, but he wasn't really he wasn't really a playboy of any sort. But he always played the drunken character, and he played
Yeah.
it well.
Yeah.
He come out and say,
I know, yeah, he was great. I love those guys.
sometime.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was great. And then he had Foster Brooks on the show, who came out literally. You can probably Google him on YouTube.
Just look up the
It had
Dean
a-
Martin roast Foster
Kind of
Brooks.
looked like a Kenny Rogers
It's great.
before Kenny ruined his whole plasticine face and melted his face and bugged his eyes open, and now looks like a totally different person. But yeah, Foster Brooks was hilarious.
He did the great thing with the burp, like boom. He did the
he did the little.
Those are
He did the little. boom.
Those
that
are
was
great.
his thing.
Yeah, it's so good.
It really was hilarious. But
Johnny does
let's
a
get
great
back.
job in this film as a
I
drunk
love
too.
the woman who plays his wife.
That's Rosemary DeWitt. I've always liked her.
Wonderful.
She's excellent.
This film is just so good.
It's rich.
It's rich. It's always watchable.
Danny Houston plays his
I love
best
Danny
friend.
Houston in this, and you don't like him generally.
No,
do you?
I like Danny Houston.
Who's
I don't
the other
really
guy you
issues
don't
with-
like? Danny. There's somebody who was in the Alien, the third. No, the newest, the latest Alien film.
I don't like Danny McBride.
That's the
That's
guy.
what I don't like.
That's the
Danny
guy
Houston
you
is
don't
cool.
like. Yeah, I like Danny.
But the
Houston.
storyline is very simple. Just to give you a brief idea, Johnny Depp is a professor at a kind of an elite college in New England, and so he just decides, I'm just going to do whatever I want
Well,
to do
he finds
with
out
the remaining
he has
time.
lung cancer.
Well, I already said that.
Oh, okay. But he's only given approximately
6 months.
6 months without any
Treatment.
kind of treatment. A
Correct.
year and a half with treatment.
Yes.
So he kind of decides to take the route no treatment.
Yeah, just do whatever he wants.
He's just going to do what he wants. He wants to go off and write the great American novel.
Smoke
but in
a
the
joint,
meantime,
drink, whatever he wants to
Exactly.
do anytime.
But in the meantime, he has a class. I love the way he
Yeah.
narrows the class.
That
down.
was great.
He says, "All you people, if you're wearing gym shorts with the tie band, get out of here."
He's like, you can leave my class. If you're not interested in this class, I'll still give you a seat.
Right. You can walk out right
Yeah.
now. But if you stay and you give any effort whatsoever, I'll give you a B. And if you go above and beyond, I'll give you an A. And I just love his attitude, the way he talks to people. I tell you, as I said, Johnny Depp's one of his best performances I've ever
Hands
seen.
down.
He was
No
great.
argument. It's fantastic. I love this
It's a
movie.
great script.
I had this movie in my head for days.
Did you?
I just adored
I
it.
still have it in my head.
It's great.
It just has a great script, and Johnny is.
I didn't want it to end. I could have watched it
know.
another hour.
I could have too.
Yeah.
It was just.
And I gotta say, hats off to the director. He's also the writer.
Right.
Wayne Roberts.
Right.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
You know, there was a Wayne Roberts who used to be in MASH.
No, this is a much younger guy.
Yeah, well, obviously. But I kind of went through the whole shtick. But and Johnny looks right here. You know, there were times he gets into his Mercedes at one point, or Lexus, whatever
Yeah.
he's driving. He's driving this big luxury.
I think it's a
car.
Mercedes.
I think it's a Mercedes also. And right after the very first opening scene, that he has a big conflict with his wife. They're yelling at each other.
There's like a dead marriage.
Dead
you know.
marriage. They're just
There's an
concerned about their
affair.
daughter, who has just decided to go gay and wants to bring in her girlfriend for them to meet and so forth. And you see Johnny get into the car and the profile, kind of during the opening credits, and he's just driving. I said, "My God, that doesn't even look like Johnny Depp. It just looked like a totally different person." I suddenly thought, gee, has he had a little work done? But no, it was just the beard and just the profile in general. Just didn't look like him. But my God, he just grabs this role by the balls. And I'm so
good.
proud of him.
Me too.
I really am proud
I
of
was-
Johnny Depp.
Because he
Because,
really impressed me.
At
yes.
times, he just goes to the, it's like on American Idol or the Voice. You sing the easy song, and that's kind of what Johnny does. He goes after the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ever since the first Pirates, that's what he's done.
As
kind
much
of.
as people out there may love those films, etc., it's just you don't see Johnny getting into he's always playing a vampire or this or a Tim Burton character, whatever. But just to see him play a normal,
Yeah, I agree.
serious, dramatic role,
Excellent.
he shined like the sun.
And how great was that monologue he gives at the end of that dinner party? It was
Oh my God!
heartbreaking.
It was
beautiful.
heartbreaking and beautiful.
Great
and,
performance.
I'll tell you though, every speech he gave, I mean, a lot of the girls are falling in love with
That's
him.
Zoe Deutch, who we like.
I love her.
That's in real life. That's Leah Thompson's daughter.
Oh, is it?
We've seen her in a bunch of
Beautiful.
things.
Oh, she's
I
magnificent.
loved her in a film a couple of years ago, which I talked about on this show many times.
She was in that film also. Dave and
The Prom Dates.
No.
What, that one?
No, somebody's wedding. Had what's her name in it? Oh no, am I wrong?
Oh, you think with the Wild Wedding? Or
No, I'm thinking of it was Zac.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron, and that's his girlfriend. She gets on the bus at the end. She's about to go away, and he stops her, and he wants to go with her.
Is it the movie that?
It was the movie where he's going to get married to. It's like a little blonde bitch,
Oh,
and
okay.
maybe you never saw the film.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it.
It was great, actually. I
But
loved
she
it.
did a great movie a couple of years ago that I really enjoyed. It was kind of like a Groundhog Day.
Oh,
type
that
movie.
was your.
That was one of my favorites of 2 years ago.
I remember you
Yeah, it was,
loving the music in that.
It was
film.
great. Yeah, it was. It's not called If I
Specific.
Stay. It's called If I Fall.
There you go.
Something like
Oh,
that.
no, that
Very
was a
good
great
film.
little film.
She's a good little actress.
She's
Zoe
a good little
Deutch.
actress, absolutely, and she's easy on the eyes. She's
Yeah.
very pretty, and she falls in love with Johnny here. And there's so many bizarre scenes. This black fellow right
Yeah,
here.
let's not get into it. That's
Let's
a
not get
funny
into
scene.
that, but that is a comical little
Yeah,
scene.
that's a
and
good scene. And
Johnny just rolls
he's just
with
like,
it all.
You know,
He's like, whatever
alright.
will be, will be. I've never tried that, but I think I'll try it now. I just love his whole attitude, his
I agree.
demeanor. He makes this film work.
I agree.
And
100%.
you could have given this film to. Oh my God, there's a lot of actors that could have pulled it off.
I agree.
There's no question, but a caliber of a Pacino kind of a solid actor. Obviously, Michael Fassbinder could have pulled it off.
Yeah, Michael Shannon could have.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's a bunch who could do
There's
it.
a lot of good people. That
I could
have
see
done it.
Bradley Cooper doing it.
But I'm just so grateful that I don't know if I could see Bradley.
He might be a
Cooper.
little too young or too handsome.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, he would be repeating the role that he just did in Star is Born. That drunken kind
Yeah,
of
but he
druggy
was drunky. Yeah, but
kind of guy. But Johnny nails it.
he does. I
Big
agree.
time.
I'm happy that it was him.
So me too. I just want him to have a hit.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm
a
so
shame this didn't make
sorry.
it to theaters.
I was just about to
And I
say the
think if
same
it
thing.
hasn't been for the negative press since the divorce of Amber Heard, this would have
Yeah,
been
but
in the
that's
theater.
2 years ago.
Yeah, but it tarnished him.
Well,
Yeah,
it
the
may
internet.
have
The
tarnished
internet
him.
kind of hasn't forgiven him, man. No.
Well,
He gets a lot of
he
grief for
was
that
a bit
shit.
asshole-like. One
I
must
know.
confess.
No, I think that hurt him.
It may have.
I
it may
think
have.
I think we're not going to see him in these type of films in the theaters. You're only going to see him in like the big studio Tim Burton type movies.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, big movies. We're not going to
Could
see
be.
him do a film like this in the theater.
Well, possibly so.
I don't think
But
so.
I would have loved to have seen.
I
this
would have
film
loved to
go
have seen it in the theater.
I would
100%.
be very curious to see how it would have done.
Yeah.
Just with his star power and just I think word of mouth would have carried it.
Word
to
of
him.
mouth, I agree.
I think it would have been a great, and I think it's an Academy Award performance.
I would love to see him get a nomination. They'll
It's
probably
not going
forget
to.
about
yeah,
it.
It's too early in the year,
I
and
know.
plus it's a 2018 film. I don't even think it could get released.
Wow, that's the thing is that it was
I
released
mean-
in 2019, but it's listed as 2018 on the IMDb. So,
Right, so
I don't know which one supersedes which.
How do they
Yeah.
perceive what they put into the
Maybe.
Academy
Unless
running?
it could have been in maybe a couple theaters in 2018, New York, LA.
Well, then
maybe
that's the kiss of
festival.
death.
Then it
Then it's
doesn't
over.
count. Yeah, then it doesn't
But
count.
what if it wasn't and they put it in theater now, but it was still a 2018 film? I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
I think it
no.
has to be
I agree.
made in the film in the year.
Here it's
that-
released.
That it was released.
Yeah,
That is
it was
correct.
probably shot in 2017. I mean, the next movie we're going to view, The Public, that was shot in 2017, wasn't released online until 2 weeks ago,
I know.
19.
The
But that
same
also was
basic
listed as
premise.
2018 online.
Right.
On
right.
IMDb.
Interesting.
But this is a great film. I
Yeah, I
have to
loved
say it's one of the better films I've watched in a few weeks.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I think it's.
It was sheer bliss.
I'm gonna
Johnny,
watch it again.
I will watch it again too. I
I've
loved
already
it.
been telling people about it.
No, it's a dynamite piece of work.
I loved
And
it.
he really steals every scene.
He does.
He's wonderful.
It's top
It's,
notch.
it's amazing. I love when he's
I
sitting
love-
at the
yeah.
bar, and it's like you're hanging out.
Oh, that's a great scene.
I just love hanging out with him.
Yeah, I know.
I that's one of the great things about this movie. You get to hang out with Johnny in this character.
It's great.
It's quite wonderful. There's an actress. What the heck is her name? She's a black lady, and she's very, very funny. I mentioned her to you before, and you don't know, but she's on a series right now, I believe, with Kevin Hart. Could it be?
I don't think Kevin Hart's in a series.
Yeah, you're right. She's in a series. Shoot, I cannot think of the woman.
She the one you like, Tiffany Haddish, whatever. What's her name?
Is it Tiffany Haddish?
Is that her?
I believe it is.
Wasn't she in? We've seen her in a couple things.
She was
this year.
she was in a Kevin Hart film.
She was in that movie
Night
with
School. She was in Night School.
Yeah, that's Haddish. Her last name's Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish, right?
Tiffany Haddish.
Well, I
Is
love
that her?
Tiffany. Yeah, she was on a show and she said, "I want to make love to Leonardo DiCaprio, but only the
Oh, I
way
heard
he
this.
was
Yeah.
in Basketball Diaries, or it wasn't Basketball Diaries.
She picked one thing.
She picked
Yeah.
she picked a film, and
I heard
I
that.
only want to make love to Johnny Depp if he'll make love to me as the character he was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was just hilarious, but I understand that thinking.
Yeah.
But Johnny just blew me away here. I love.
I agree too. I mean, this movie was the biggest surprise in a while.
Yeah. No, I loved every.
And I
moment.
gotta say that the marketing department blew it with that trailer. The trailer did not do this movie justice, in
Really?
my view.
I never saw the trailer.
I
Where'd you
could-
see the trailer?
When it was released online.
Oh.
Just online. I didn't see it in the
Okay.
theater. No.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's just you always see trailers pop up online. IMDb premieres new trailers every other
Oh,
day,
okay.
and I think that's why I
haven't
saw
watched
it.
I never watched.
Yeah. So anyway, I
Okay.
can't recommend The Professor. We both can't recommend it highly enough.
It's
Check
really
it out. It's on your
probably-
streaming platforms.
It's probably a 3.5 star film, but
Yeah, I'll go 3.5.
I would elevate it. For me, it was a 4-star film. For me personally,
I'm fine with that.
For me personally, but
I loved
as a
it.
reviewer, often you have to cut it down a notch because you've got to you don't want to scare people off with a 4-star review. So you've kind of got to go into a mediocre
Well, do you think people would
territory.
why would people get scared off by a 4-star?
Because they'll watch the film and they'll think, "Oh, this wasn't a 4-star film." Is it a 4-star film? It's a 4-star performance.
It's a
by
performance
Johnny.
movie. Yeah.
But
it's
I loved
moving.
it. I just loved it.
There's a philosophy on display in this film that it kind of just says, hey, think of how many people would really do what they really wanted to do if they didn't have tomorrow, or if they didn't have 6 months. You live for the day, carpe diem.
Johnny,
and that's
gives
what he
a
does
speech.
in this movie.
Well, he gives a speech to everybody.
Yeah, at the end.
He said, no.
No? Which speech
He's
you
sitting
talking
with the kids. I think they're outside.
Oh, in the grass.
Right.
When
And
they're
he says,
smoking grass.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
Yes,
you're gonna
you're
die.
right, he does.
What are you gonna do?
It's true.
What are you gonna do? Every day we're one step closer, and
It's
he hasn't
true.
quite announced to anybody really that he is in fact
Dying.
going through this final
At that point in the
stage of-
film, only one person knows, and that's his best friend, Danny Houston,
Right.
in the movie.
Danny knows through the whole thing. And
Yeah.
even his wife and his child, they don't know.
He tells them later on.
It's a very sweet. It's a
And that
very-
scene where, it's not really a spoiler, when he tells his daughter.
Oh, boy.
God, that scene is a.
That was riveting.
Dude,
Great
that was a
acting
beautiful
from
scene.
her, and
The daughter's very good,
Johnny
too.
is amazing.
It's a very, very, very
It
good
bothered
film.
me that he took the dog though at the end, and
But that was his dog.
I know, but
He's not going to kill the dog.
Well,
I don't think he's going to kill the dog. He'll probably bring it back, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I think you missed the final scene. of
No,
the film.
I know what he was doing, but I don't know if that was necessarily a end. I think that's just the direction he's going. There wasn't.
That road was a T, my friend. They went down, and then it went left or right.
Yeah, there was a cornfield that he went into.
I don't believe it was a cornfield.
No, it was a cornfield.
Well, we
There
don't
was some
know
kind
if
of
it
a field.
was.
It was.
We didn't see that. It was a night shot.
I saw
Driving down,
grass moving.
You
on
go
the sides
left
of the
or
car.
right, and then he goes straight.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a Thelma and Louise thing.
Well, it felt like it to me.
Yeah, but he wants to write that novel. He's got shit to do.
Yeah, but he at that point it was. You could see that he had decided that
I don't know.
that wasn't going to happen.
I felt it wasn't going to happen right away.
I felt that it was
Yeah.
finale.
Oh, well, interesting how we have different points.
Little
on it.
ambiguous scenario there, and not to be a spoiler here, but he's dying. So
We know that.
we know that, and whether he decides to end it or not end it is in the mind of the viewer,
Yeah.
and that's the way it should be.
All right, cool.
Let us
Well,
move on.
Great film.
Really.
We'll move on to
Wonderful.
another film called The Public, which is another interesting film. Like we said before, it's written and directed by Emilio Estevez.
Mm-hmm.
He's the star of the film as well.
Here he is.
The film has a lot of people in it. We have Christian Slater, Jeffrey Wright, We have Gabrielle Union, Alec Baldwin, Taylor Schilling from Orange is the New Black is in this film.
She's great.
Yeah, Kenneth K. Williams is in this film. I'm sorry, Michael K. Williams. And this film is it's about a Cincinnati, Ohio.
Who is this girl?
Oh yeah, that's also Jenna Malone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've seen her a lot
A lot of stuff, yeah. But this is about a.
Was she in Pitch Perfect by any chance?
I don't think so.
No?
But
Okay.
she was in Life as a House, I believe, with Kevin Kline. She was in that movie
Okay.
you watched recently called Assassination Nation. I believe she was in that.
right. Oh, that was horrible.
But she's been in a lot of stuff.
You never watched that film.
No, you didn't make it seem like it was worth watching. But
Yeah, it
this is
wasn't.
this basically he plays a librarian along with a bunch of Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright is wonderful.
Who adds a really extra level of greatness to any movie he's in.
He
I
does.
love him.
Well, his character is written as such.
Yeah,
also.
he's awesome. He always
I mean,
plays great
but
intellectuals.
He does, and of course we love that film on Netflix. He was
Yeah,
just
Hold the
in.
Dark.
Hold
Very
the
good
Dark.
film.
Wonderful.
But this is basically about a bunch of librarians in Cincinnati, Ohio, during a very brutal winter, and it's a place that the homeless people
I
hang
would
out
say
in.
it's about a bunch of librarians. It's really about him.
No, but it's also Jeffrey
and
Wright's also
it's
a
a very
librarian.
small nucleus
Jennifer
of librarians.
Jenna Malone is also a librarian.
Yeah,
I
but-
would argue three is a bunch.
No, that's not a bunch. That's not a bunch of
Well,
librarians.
it's about a library. It's semantics.
It's a
It's
nucleus
about a library.
It's really about a
With the-
frigid winter.
Well, that's what you cut me off. That's what I'm
Oh,
trying to get to.
all right.
It's a brutal winter, so these homeless people hang out there all day long for the heat, and there's not enough shelters to help them out at night.
To accommodate.
So what do? They protest and they hang out and they want to basically occupy the library.
Yeah.
And Emilio Estevez kind of says, "All right," he kind of goes along with it. At first, he's like, "What are you guys doing?" But then he understands their plight. Because we learned, it's not really a spoiler, but he used to be homeless, his character.
Correct.
And then we have the police come in, which is he's a negotiator, played by Alec Baldwin. They call him in. Christian Slater is an opportunistic prosecutor who's running for mayor.
Right.
And he's kind of like,
He's the
kind
asshole.
of the villain.
He's the
Yeah,
asshole of the
asshole.
group. Correct.
And that's the premise of the film. Taylor Schilling is a girl who he's having a relationship with outside.
It's not quite the premise of the film.
That's the main point.
It becomes a revolution.
Yeah.
Within the.
Like I said, they occupy the library.
Well, they do, but it's kind of a the
political
winter.
commentary.
This winter stretch is going to go on for quite a few days.
Yeah.
He kind of takes a stand, in my mind, a little bit shakily.
Well, he's wishy-washy at first.
Well, he's wishy-washy, but not just that. The whole premise of, harboring these guys for one night, because there's definitely... Now, police are gathering outside.
Yeah.
And the news media is given a fake news spin on it.
Yeah, that's an
that it's
interest-
actually
yeah, that's an interesting angle, too.
A hostage takeover
Yeah.
by Emilio, that he's keeping all these people in there.
Hostage, yeah.
As hostages.
And Gabrielle
which is-
Union plays this opportunistic reporter
Right.
who thinks this is to get her,
like a
get the
Fox
attention.
News.
She wants to get the attention of
Yeah.
the Nationals and get out of just Cincinnati.
She's a Fox News.
Yeah.
She's spinning her own.
And she does a
truth
very
on
good
it.
job because I hated her in this
Yeah,
movie.
I did. I hated her
I'm like,
too.
God, you're misrepresenting
She,
everything.
I know. You just
Yeah.
want to punch her.
I
in
know
the
you
face.
do.
But
I like this film quite a bit. This also stayed with me a bit.
Yeah, I didn't
I
love the
enjoy it.
film. I thought it was very entertaining while I was watching
Yeah.
it. I just found it a little bit too stereotypical. This Christian Slater character, Alec Baldwin was kind of he was a wishy-washy character. At times you think he's siding with the group that let's keep them
Well,
warm here
yeah,
tonight.
his
But
character
then at
has an
times-
agenda,
then he
too.
goes back, and at the end, we have some aggression.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell.
He's also a guy that knows he has to do his job. He knows this can't go on all
but
night.
I mean, really, this was a. I think the whole thing was a little ludicrous. That I could not possibly see this really happening in real
Honestly,
life.
I thought it was plausible. I
Really?
could see this happening.
No, I couldn't at all.
Homelessness is a major crisis in this country.
Well, it is indeed.
It's really
but,
bad.
There's plenty of shelters and people.
Well,
go
arguably
to
there's not enough for everybody.
YMCA's or whatever. Well, the warmth is one thing. To feed them is another.
Well, yeah, I
but
agree.
generally speaking, in New York, they do have places for people to go. Or a lot of people live on the streets under blankets
I
and
know.
boxes and
Subway stations, that are
subway
abandoned,
stations.
that
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can
thing.
go into a subway station. There is some warmth and heat down there, but I thought it was a pretty well. I thought it was quite a.
I thought it was very well done. I
very-
was impressed with him.
No, I
It's,
thought it was a courageous piece of work.
Yeah.
And just
And he's taking a stance here in this movie.
He is indeed.
Political commentary here.
well, he is absolute. I don't know if the political commentary was worth much in the end. I don't feel that it really catered to any kind of left or right side. I thought it was just kind of
No, but it's just addressing an issue
mediocre-
that these are people that are discarded and forgotten. How many people walk past homeless people on the street, don't do anything? You go to San Francisco, they have some, you're back to the homelessness there. You can actually use the term, it's aggressive homelessness.
I
They
understand.
are aggressive.
Well, that's another story.
Yeah,
In
and
LA
that sucks. I've been
that's
there
horrible.
4 times, and it's definitely a problem.
Yeah, but in LA we don't have any kind of frigid weather.
No,
They're
obviously,
living in a
yes,
warmth.
not New York
We got
winters.
people, thousands of people living on the street.
Well, LA has the highest population of homeless people.
I know.
In the
It's
country.
horrifying.
It's bad.
My nephew, in fact, drives by them, and there are tents everywhere.
He's in
There's
LA?
people- Yeah,
I thought he was in San Diego or something.
He's up north.
Oh,
no,
he's
San
north.
Diego's way south.
I know, that's
he's
why I
up
thought he
in
was down there.
Hayward, which is up by San Francisco, and LA is
So
another
he's in the Bay Area.
300-400. Yeah,
I love the Bay Area.
It's beautiful up there.
It's great.
Fisherman's Wharf, etc.
Beautiful.
But, this movie, I didn't think that it was a strong enough foothold on either side to really make a valid point. I got the drift that there was he's trying to be a kind of a Che Guevara for the homeless.
Yeah, that's
but
a good,
at the
that's a good
same
word.
time,
Good name.
I didn't really find it to be. It was a battleground that didn't exist so much for me. I really didn't think it was as the film progresses, I love the ending. We get a.
Let's not say what happens, but that was
full Monty-esque.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either. And I thought that
fun.
was a creative little piece of work.
Yeah.
But he's kind of the spokesman for
That's
the
Michael K.
homeless.
Williams. Yeah, he's
wonderful.
he's great.
What a face this
He's
guy
always
has.
good.
He's just.
I mean, you remember him from Boardwalk Empire.
Absolutely.
When you watch The Wire, you're going to see him.
Oh, really?
In his most iconic role.
Okay.
He's awesome in The
Interesting.
Wire. He plays Omar.
Yeah, but I just didn't find this to be a strong enough word for either side. It just
I don't know. For me, that's okay. I didn't mind that.
really.
I don't
Okay.
always need a movie to take a side.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it-
Documentaries do usually take a side.
well,
a lot of times you get a.
no. Hopefully, documentaries provide us.
Well,
with a
look at the Michael
non-fiction
Jackson documentary. That had a side. That
that
wasn't in the middle
had-
by any
well,
extent.
No, that
Not really.
had
I don't think so.
actual people that were involved in a story, and they were telling their story. I don't think
agree.
it took a side at
Yeah,
all.
it did. No, it was presenting. What was as
Well, it was-
as the accusers have attacked that documentary. All the defenders of Michael Jackson say
Yeah, but-
that's a one-sided documentary. They're only showing their side. They're not telling the other side. I think that documentary had a narrative focus, which was these are things that we're accusing Michael Jackson of doing.
Yeah, but we knew
It wasn't a fair and balanced
there's not
documentary.
one person that you will ever talk to that will say, "Oh, there's no way that could have happened." Oh, sure, Michael was only brought to court 6
No,
separate
I
times.
agree.
We know that there was that
I
route
agree.
there where he was
No, of course, public
crossing
opinion-
the line of
Yeah.
the pedophilia
No, of course.
world case.
I'm just
there.
saying, public opinion, just like with OJ, most people think yes, he's guilty of that.
Well, that
but I'm
OJ
just,
is another
But I'm
story.
just saying that this documentary about him, it didn't tell another side. It only focused on the allegations.
Well, it was
So-
about 2 kids that
It was, yeah.
It told their side of a story.
I know, but I'm saying that.
But a
that-
story that was already in the big picture of the minds of 90% of the public
Yeah,
anyway.
no, I agree.
mean, there's
I'm not
always going to be
disputing
the
that.
people who love his music,
Of course.
who worship him and so forth, and that's another thing altogether. A musical talent is to be kept in a musical. It's a Woody Allen syndrome. Is it the genius or the judgment of the genius
Yeah, I know.
for things he does outside of his genius? So it's a difficult thing to really personify and perceive, but.
But my point is just that
I know what you're saying.
I didn't have an issue that this film wasn't one way
It was
or
a little too,
you know.
a little too.
It was okay for me.
Creme de la, white toast for me. It just never really crossed over into a powerful. It could have been powerful.
Well, yeah, it didn't
If-
migrate
it-
into greatness. I guess what you're trying to say.
No,
It's
it
a
never
good
did.
film. It's not a great film.
It's a little 3-star film.
3 stars
It
fair.
is.
Yeah, I would go with that.
I enjoyed
Professor's
seeing-
a much better film.
I don't
That
know.
film impacted me
Well,
much
no
more.
question,
But I still enjoyed this
But
movie.
I enjoyed Emilio. I enjoyed Emilio.
Me too.
He wrote it.
I enjoyed
he
the whole
directed
cast.
it.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job. I
think
liked.
so, too.
I liked everybody in the film. I thought it was a well put together film. It was memorable for Will I remember this movie in a year? I will because
think I
I'm
will.
a movie guy.
Because it was an interesting story to me.
Uh,
Because you see movies about homeless people, and it's usually something like, Cardboard Boxer that we saw, or whatever, with Thomas Hayden Church.
I like that movie.
Or it's Curly Sue,
Right.
homeless guy with a heart of gold.
Yeah, true.
This is showing. Well, then we had those other two real bleak ones. The one with Shelter with
Jennifer
Connelly.
Oh, that was.
And then we had the
horrifying.
one with Time Out of Mind with Richard Gere, where he's almost losing his mind.
Right.
So we have those different parallels.
Yeah.
So this is a different take on the homeless struggle. We see the one guy, the chubbier guy, he's trying to get dates on the internet, and he's not telling the women that he's homeless.
Right.
There was some comedic things peppered throughout.
That wasn't even funny though.
No, but it was interesting. I liked it.
Was it?
I liked
Well, it gave a little character to
a
the
little
characters.
character, exactly.
But
Just little things like that, little touches I
It was a little too
enjoyed.
mediocre for me, I have to
All
say. It never really crossed over. I mean, if we had somebody like a Steven Spielberg had his writers, and with the same cast, same crew, whatever, and put on a better version of this film, I think a better version of this film could have been.
Well, you can argue that Steven Spielberg would make any film better.
Not necessarily. He lost big bucks on the BFG.
But that was still a great movie, though.
I
loved
liked
it.
The film.
I loved the BFG.
Too,
That's not his fault.
It lost like 155 mil with
the special
Universal or
effects was crazy.
Disney, whoever.
Well, it wasn't Disney, I don't think.
No, I don't think
he doesn't work for Disney.
Maybe
he's
it was
got his
Sony.
own company.
Might have been Sony. Yeah, he's got his
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm surprised he even makes movies for any other studios when he's got his own.
Very true.
Well, right now he's doing West Side Story. The film in Patterson.
I know.
I know somebody that's an extra on it.
No kidding.
Anyway, so
It was good.
bottom line, would you recommend it?
I would.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
so
I
would
would. Just for Emilio, I kind of, I was dreaming, it's kind of a, the breakfast brunch.
Yeah.
It's kind of Emilio.
Well, that whole movie took place in a library as well.
I know.
I thought of that the second I saw this movie.
And it kind of moved it into a futuristic domain where he is now grown up. The guy has to be 50-something.
He's in his 50s.
He looks dynamite.
He was born in the 60s, so do the math.
He looks fantastic. I was very impressed with him specifically. I thought his low-key, kind of mundane, stay away from me kind of attitude was... he's become a librarian because of the horrors in his life and what he went through,
and
etc.
books saved him.
Correct, and I like that. I like the backstory that got him to where he is, where he now wants to defend these people.
I agree, and Jeffrey Wright was also really a strong presence.
Well,
I love him.
We see a change in Jeffrey, which was, and I'm going to mention this, but Jeffrey is a staunch. He's fired. I don't want him in my
Well, he's the head of the board.
He's the head of the board.
He's getting pressure from
But then he changes his mind, and then he kind of just drifts off into oblivion.
He kind of becomes a non-presence.
A non-presence, which was a big mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
And that was
I was like,
that was a writing flub.
That was an odd thing to.
It was, and because he is a powerful actor, a powerful presence, as you say. And he could have I think he could have brought the film to a level of, if he made a big speech at the end, for example.
Nice.
Instead of singing,
he just honestly became like an extra,
Yeah, exactly. He was just one of the stragglers at the end there, and that was a big mistake. The film had it just kind of fizzled out for me,
But Jeffrey Wright has just an incredible presence.
He does.
He's got a very powerful
voice,
and it's
badly used.
Commands you.
Badly used here.
Yeah.
No
well,
question.
for half the movie, badly used. I thought it was okay for what he had.
Yeah,
he had
but
some good
for
scenes
the
together.
end result of the
I agree.
film, he could have been
It's a shame.
saving grace, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. I thought Emilio did a great job.
Another thing I like about this film, and maybe it's another reason I liked it a little bit more than you, is the message of the importance of libraries. I love libraries.
Yeah.
I think they're wonderful.
True.
I think kids have to continually be exposed to them and encouraged to spend time there. And I'm happy to see that schools, they're not, phasing out libraries. They're still a part of the curriculum. Not only the school library, but the local public library. The events, things going on.
Yeah.
The library in my hometown just did a huge renovation. It's beautiful.
Oh, really?
It's important. And that's still one place. Hey, guys, you can go browse a DVD collection where there's no other video stores left. Everything else is streaming. You can go to your local library and go look at the vast collection of DVDs they have. The library in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, it's like a video store.
Yeah.
It's like a mile of movies. Just 2 sections. Just everywhere.
Or Nanuet.
Cascades of
here
DVDs.
in New York is also.
And I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
And anybody with a library card can go in there, get out a book you love, get
And
a
you
movie
can
you
order a
love.
book from any library in the
I
county.
have an app on my phone.
There you go.
Give me this. I got obscure movies you and I talked about. Oh, I got
Sure.
that. That's how I got The Life of Emile Zola.
That's how you got King of Kings.
King of Kings, get it to me from the library. Took us 3 weeks to get it from like
Yeah.
Teaneck Library or whatever.
Exactly.
But anyway, nevertheless, I enjoyed this film.
I did too.
Yeah, it's
I
worth
did
seeing.
too. It kind of fizzled out for me.
Not going to change your life, but it's worth
No,
seeing.
it's not. I almost thought it was going to, just to beleaguer the moment just for a little longer, I almost thought, his father is kind of leaning into a lot of religious films now. And there was one moment in this film where it kind of went into a little preachy kind of, how finding yourself and being yourself and they never mentioned God or
No.
whatever, but it got a little bit into a spiritual level there for
Yeah.
a moment, and I almost thought that he was going to go there since Dad is
Well,
a
he's
big,
only done like 2. Martin Sheen's only done like...
maybe 3.
Really? Which
Yeah.
one? He did the one that took place on a
The
little
Walk.
island.
He did the one, The Walk, where they do the long walk and
Emilio directed that movie. Wrote that
brother.
movie.
Oh, that was horrifying.
I got it here. Long Way Home.
Long way was it? That was
no.
a sheer religious film.
It's
very, very much so.
hang on. It's called The Way. And then there's also The War at Home, both the movies starring Martin Sheen.
Okay.
What's interesting is that Martin
Well, there was
Sheen...
another one about that. Wasn't Martin also in that little that it was directed by the cinematographer?
Well, that's what I said
of
before.
Terrence
The movie that took
Malick.
place in that little island.
Yeah.
But the town lost
Terrence
a lot of
Malick's cinematographer directed.
Yes, and it looks like a Terrence Malick, a beautiful
Yeah,
film
it
to watch.
does. It was
I forget the
beautiful,
name of
yeah.
it. But it takes place on a small island
Yeah.
where he's an
And Martin
American.
Sheen is the
He's the priest.
He's the priest.
And a lot of the kids in the town died after like a hurricane or
Right,
something.
right,
yeah.
right.
No, that was an interesting film.
I like that film.
It's very, very like a lot of the Malick films.
It was
it's very breathy.
Yeah, it was
a lot of
very
winds.
postcardy,
Yeah.
and at the same time, a sign of a subtle meaning. It never pounds
Yeah, I
you
forget
with
the name of that movie. That was
presence.
interesting.
Well, you can check it out.
I'll check it out later.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
She was great, by the way.
Yeah, Jen
she's
Malone
kind
is
of a-
great.
She's like a Joan Cusack almost. She's got that.
In this
kind of
film, yeah.
She's got that wacky kind
Yeah.
of funny ability to just laugh at herself, and I liked her.
At
liked
first,
her
I thought it was
presence.
Riley Keough for like a split
Oh,
second.
God.
Then I'm like, oh no, that's not her.
Nah,
But anyway, let's move on.
no. There was no nude scenes in this. That's why
true.
Riley wouldn't do
Yeah.
it.
All right, so now we're going to do Team Spirit,
Yeah.
which is a film with the wonderful Elle Fanning, who sings in this film.
Oh my God.
And this was written and directed by Max Minghella.
He
He's
does.
an actor,
Yep.
but he's also significant because his father was the late filmmaker Anthony Minghella, who
Oh.
did The English Patient
Oh, okay.
and The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh, interesting.
This is his young son now.
Oh wow.
And this film has got a lot of pop tunes. She plays
A lot of pop tunes.
Pop tunes. She plays a Polish girl.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I didn't
She
know
does.
that going
well,
into this.
Lesensky or whatever. her
You
name
know, but I thought she was an American, and then I see the movie. She got an accent, so
Yeah.
that was interesting. And just about she goes on like an American Idol like talent show.
Yeah.
And it's all about can you be the next pop star? She comes from a small town in England where she lives, but she's from Poland. Her and her mother.
But let's
But-
point out she goes to a very small cafe where she does
She
karaoke,
karaoke.
a little karaoke
She's a
kind of
waitress.
thing,
Yeah.
correct? And she meets an old kind of an old Italian. Is he Italian?
No,
I
he's
don't
like
know.
from Czech
Yeah,
Republic
that's
or something.
right. Yeah, you're right.
He's an ex-opera singer, famous.
Opera singer,
Yeah.
very famous. He looks just like the guy who just passed away that was in the John Wick film, the first one. He has that Sven, the guy from the
No,
Dragon
he doesn't look
Tattoo.
like Michael
He does.
Liefquist.
He does. He
This
looks
guy's
like a
obese.
pudgy. I know, but he looks like a pudgy Jean Renoir, the guy from The Professional.
You mean
He
Jean
looks-
Reno?
Jean Reno, a little bit like that.
Well, he's got a heavy European
He's
look
got a
to him.
heavy look to him. He looks like Zero Mostel.
A little, Giro Mostel's more
Fiddler
accurate.
on the Roof.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you, I'm going to talk about. Do you think I liked this film or I didn't?
I hate this game. I'm gonna say you liked it, but you didn't love it.
Okay, how about you? Did you like this
I
film?
liked
I'm
it.
going to say you liked it.
I
yeah.
enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed everything I watched this week.
Okay.
It was a
Yeah,
good
good.
week for film banter.
Yeah, yeah. It was
I
fun.
enjoyed this film.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Very atmospheric.
Well,
It was all atmosphere. This movie.
The
I
film
felt.
is worth a paragraph. It's literally a paragraph.
It's a very, very small.
a very small
story.
scope.
There's not much going on.
There's
Yeah.
nothing going on.
It's simple.
It's simple. girl tries out for a thing,
Yeah.
goes to the top,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Case closed.
If it wasn't for the musical numbers, the movie would have been an hour long.
An hour
Because it's
long.
already an hour 33.
Try 35 minutes.
short.
There was nothing to this film.
But
I
she
did love
eats the
Elle.
screen.
She's
She's
wonderful.
so watchable.
She's so good, you know.
I think she's good. I think she's already surpassed her sister
Well,
as a working actress. She doesn't stop.
No, she doesn't stop.
She
and
does not.
She's wonderful,
excellent.
and I loved her in Mary Shelley.
I know you. Yeah, I have that.
love
on the
that
watch,
film.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that was such
Here's
a
Max
great
Mandel,
little
if you
film.
care. That's him.
Okay, okay.
Directing her.
But she's, you know,
I was
a
impressed with her
small-time
voice.
girl.
Good voice.
I was blown
Yeah,
away how
great
good
job.
she was. I mean, at the end, you know, as the credits are rolling, that's how I found out it was her.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Then I just saw it performed by Elle Fetty.
Great.
I mean, that's the key to this movie. It's just
It's
really,
her.
as I say, it's a paragraph
It's a
worth
performance film.
of intake that you're going to take from this. But just the music and the performance.
The music is very memorable. It's all songs that we already know. I don't think there's any original
Yeah,
songs in
she
this.
does "Little Bird" by Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
Now here's the guy. Here's our.
That's him.
The old
Yeah,
timer.
his name
that you're
is. I don't
blocking
even know if I can pronounce it. I think it's Zlatko Burek.
There you go. He's probably
Something like that.
a European.
Yeah,
guy,
definitely European. But I would watch this again. This movie,
It was entertaining.
very watchable, very
It was.
catchy.
It
I
had
enjoyed
a- had a-
it. Beautiful cinematography, colors.
Wonderful. No, beautiful
It's
art
very
direction.
well done.
It is. It's well done.
It's a good first feature.
It
It's
is.
its first debut as a filmmaker.
Here we have
Your girlfriend.
I know.
Rebecca Hall.
I love Rebecca Hall.
Did you know she was in it going into it?
I did not. In fact, I barely even
Nice
knew it was
surprise.
her when I saw her, because there's like another actress that looks so similar to that, and she's so heavily made up. But, you know, she plays the routine.
She's the music executive,
She's the
offering
executive,
the
making
carrot.
an offer.
Yeah, here's the deal for you, you know.
Kind of another side
Yeah.
from the producers of La La Land.
Oh,
up here.
great.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either.
But yeah, it just has it has a very.
It's a memorable film.
It's a very synthetic.
Yeah.
It goes by like a good pop tune.
Quick.
It really
Yeah,
does.
it does.
That's really the synthesis.
And
of
to
this
me,
film.
that's okay.
It's a pop tune.
That's totally
It's
fine.
a little pop
Yeah.
tune of a film that you listen to for 3 minutes. It's over, and you liked it.
I
Pretty
agree.
much the same thing.
I agree. I 100%
Elle
agree.
is watchable.
She's excellent.
Lovely. She's a great voice. There were times there where I do see her singing, and I said to myself, "It looks like she's really singing."
Yeah,
there."
yeah.
And then, of course, at the end, I find out that.
Yeah, well,
I doubt that she
that
was
was
singing
part
on,
of-
on stage. That it's all done.
Well, she could have been lip syncing for the movie.
Of
I don't know
course,
yet.
of course.
But it was advertised when this movie was coming out. A lot of the articles about the film and her was saying that she did her singing in this film.
Yeah.
This was a big thing for her. So
Look at that face, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's beautiful.
She's like a little 5-year-old.
Yeah, she looks. She can play young. She's gonna
really
be playing
could.
young for a
I
while.
mean, she's what, 22, 23? I don't know how old she is.
I don't even think she's
She's probably
23.
25. I'll bet
Yeah.
she's up
You
there.
think she's 25?
Well, yeah, she's been making movies for 10 years at least.
Maybe she started young.
She did start young.
Because Dakota Fanning is only. How old is she? Mid 20s?
No, she's got to be.
Well, let's put it
28.
this way. I believe
Well,
when
you can
she
look her
did
up.
I Am Sam, and that was 2002, I think she was what, 6?
Was she?
I think she was
Oh, okay.
6. No more than 8.
All right, so that's 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
So
you
Dakota
wanna-
Fanning's only in her mid 20s.
Okay.
So this girl must be early 20s.
She could be 20.
22 maybe?
And she was wonderful in the Guy Pearce movie, that horrible preacher film.
Well, that was Dakota Fanning.
Wasn't
not
she
Elle
in it, though?
Fanning. No,
Oh,
that
was
was
that
Dakota.
Dakota? You're right.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
If you want to see a shockingly amazing film with Guy
that's a
Pearce
brutal film.
and
Yeah,
please, rough movie with Dakota Fanning and Guy Pearce, check out Brimstone. We
Yeah,
reviewed it last
that's it.
year.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
That movie will knock you on your ass.
It's a scary
almost
little
3
film.
hours.
Yeah,
but
it's 2.5.
as you told me when you saw it, it's going to be a role that Guy Pearce will be remembered for, and I agree.
Yeah.
Although I haven't heard anybody but us talk about it.
I remember.
I've told people
I
about
was
it.
on the phone. I was texting to you while I was watching it, and I
Yeah.
said, "I am seeing things here. I am shocked to see.
Yes.
I
Yes.
am in shock
There
that
are
I am
scenes.
watching this right now. Well, there's almost a child not incest,
But there's stuff
there's
going on.
almost
Yeah.
stuff going on that you're kind of like, whoa,
Yeah, I
wait
know,
a
I
minute.
know.
We're crossing a lot of boundaries in this film.
Yes,
it does
I
cross
agree.
a lot of boundaries. But back to this, it was cute. It was okay.
I agree. I
Is it a
enjoy it.
3-star film? I almost want to just go 2.5.
I would give it 3
But I
because it's
still
very
recommend it.
watchable.
I still recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a lot of substance, but it's entertaining
No
regardless.
substance at all.
It does the main job that a movie is
substance.
responsible for doing, and that's
Well,
entertaining you.
Yeah, but
it
you want
does
a little
that
bit
very
more.
well.
You know, I got to put it a double feature maybe with Vox Lux.
I was thinking this is a superior film to Vox Lux.
well, no, you know-
although the ending of Vox Lux is great.
No, I like Vox Lux because we see the other side.
Really? I thought you hated that movie.
Well, I did hate it, but I did like seeing the other side of a Katy
Yeah.
Perry
No,
type
I agree. I
character.
did too.
You know, we see the image on television of, oh, I'm so smiling, I'm so happy. Oh, you made that song your own. Oh,
Yeah.
blah blah. But you know, the bullshit that spews out of our Paula Abdul's and Katy.
See, Vox
Perry's,
Lux has
etc.
probably a little bit more substance, but this is a more entertaining film.
Well, Vox Lux was painful to watch.
Yeah, and that was also a performance film. She was good, Natalie
Absolutely,
Portman.
but I did love Natalie in
Yeah.
that, and at the end she puts on her
Great
Madonna
show, yeah.
Madonna head mic
Yeah, exactly.
and performs the songs and does a very scripted performance. There was
Yeah.
no heart in that
No,
performance,
it's
but
true.
but it was still entertaining. Just that horrible. The one thing that ruined that film for me was that scene she has with her daughter sitting in that
The diner?
the diner,
Yeah,
the
I know the scene
restaurant,
you're talking about.
and it went on for like half an hour.
That was a long scene.
And it was horrible. It was poorly written, and it was the same whiny horseshit over.
Well, you know
and
what
over
it is?
and
It
over.
kind of brought the film to a standstill.
It did.
It's just like the brakes went on.
It's like the film stopped and took a dump right in the middle of the film, and then it just couldn't catch up the momentum again until we
If
finally.
you're just tuning in, we're talking
And
about
it was
Vox
like 2
Lux, not
hours
this
and
film.
12 minutes.
It was a
long.
long
It was
film.
a longer film.
Yeah.
It was a little bit tough on the buttocks. You know, sitting
Yeah.
there and you're trying to.
See, I wouldn't probably watch anything more. I wouldn't watch that movie again, except maybe the ending I'd watch again.
Well,
That performance scene.
no, I would watch the beginning. I like it when she's a child star and she's trying out.
Oh, that's right. That was cool. That whole thing with like the school shooting.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
weird.
And then her daughter, she's a young girl when she starts, and then she grows up to be Natalie Portman, and then the girl who played Natalie. Don't you remember the girl
Yeah,
who played
is playing
Natalie
her
as
daughter.
a kid?
Yeah.
Now plays her daughter.
That's cool.
So yeah, but it's very confusing
I know.
to we the
I know.
public watching this film
Because,
going,
you know,
"Wait
it's
a
very
minute,
rare
is that
for
her
a mother
aunt?"
daughter to look that much alike.
I know. Is that her aunt now? No, that's her
Yeah, I know what you're
as a
saying.
kid, but that's her daughter. Oh, give me
Yeah.
a break.
Anyway, let's move on.
That was too much.
To your
Who
little.
directed that film?
I'll remember it was an actor who made that film debut
Oh,
as a director-writer.
figures.
Yeah. All right, so now you're going to cover a little
Okay,
bit.
little Jessica
a brief
Jones.
Jessica Jones
I
little
do
conversation.
adore this
Well, not really a
series.
conversation, it's a monologue.
Wonderful. It's just a great.
I've not watched
Well,
any of Jessica Jones.
You should definitely try it.
I'd like to. I just haven't gotten to it.
It's wonderful. She's
Yeah.
really kind of a Sam Spade.
Kristen Ritter's great.
She's it's really it's very un-Marvel-esque, this film. There's not a lot of Marvel happenings. She has the basic premise is that she's in a car. We get the whole origin of Jessica Jones in the second season.
Mm-hmm.
She has a car accident. Her
Well, don't give too much away because I might watch it.
no. It's important. She has a car accident. She's taken to a place out in the country. Guy does some like experiments on her, and she accidentally gets superhuman strength.
Okay.
But that's really all she has.
Yeah.
She just has some superhuman strength. She can jump up to the 15th floor of a apartment complex. But it's really Kristen Ritter is the star of this film, and the girl who plays her sister Trish is dynamite. And this guy's great also.
Yeah.
But it's her demeanor through the whole thing. She's so we talk about. There's a great movie back from 1947 called A Double Life, and it's about how an actor takes home a role.
Oh, yeah.
when
You've
they
told me about this
are-
before.
This must be on
It is
because
on.
I see a light.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's how an actor. I can't see how. Here's Luke Cage.
Yep.
The man who plays Luke Cage.
Yeah, his name is Colton.
Yeah, he's in the
Mike
first
Coulter.
season. Yeah, he's very good. I do like him, but she's really the star of this show. I mean, you never see her smile once.
Yeah.
In this film, she's.
I don't remember her
down.
smiling in Breaking Bad either.
She did smile in Breaking
Did
Bad.
she?
Yeah, because they actually showed a picture. There was just recently an article of characters were still not over their deaths. This was a little article on AOL, and it was her character in Breaking Bad that they're referring to. But she's just kind of this downtrodden But she's a PI. She's a private investigator, and she has this drive. And she sits in her office and she drinks her bourbon and she's drunk and she's pissed off and she's yelling at everybody, but in a very kind way almost. She's just understanding, and yet she's it's a brilliant performance. It takes a brilliant person to here we have the great
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Carrie-Anne Moss
From Matrix
spectacular in
fame.
this. Yeah, she plays a
Is she in all 3 seasons?
yes, yeah, absolute.
David Tennant.
David Tennant, of course. Doctor Who. He's in the second season mostly. There's a serial killer who is dynamite in the 3rd season. I love the 3rd season quite a bit.
Which is now the current and final season.
The current, so they say final season.
Well, because
although,
Netflix is not taking, they're not doing any more Marvel
well,
shows.
Marvel has been sold to Disney, and Disney
for a
will
while,
be taking
yeah.
over all the Marvel.
No, but
stories.
Disney has owned Marvel for over 10 years.
Well,
I think they stopped their
yes,
agreement with Netflix.
Netflix is done.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm
now
saying.
we're thinking maybe that Luke Cage and perhaps Jessica and hopefully my favorite,
The Daredevil.
the Daredevil, will also be moving. But this is wide open for a sequel. Obviously, this does not have to be.
I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel
Yeah.
recasts and starts over.
This is the.
you know,
I don't think they'll.
on their own
recast. She's just
platform.
too good. Although she is pregnant now, so. But she's wonderful. I just.
she's a very good
I was
actress.
blown away. I love the whole thing. It just looks great. You're just engrossed in it. It's a quick watch. You'll just peel right through it.
Cool.
It was 13 episodes, I believe, per season. I loved it. The
Great.
characters are great. It's got good violence.
39 episodes altogether, actually.
Okay,
yeah.
there you go. So 13.
But I've heard from
apiece.
everybody it's a great show.
She
so.
kicks ass
Yeah.
royally. I mean, she's a avenger of the smaller downtrodden person.
Mm-hmm.
She always goes for the gut, the heart. I enjoy it very, very much, and the 3rd season is wonderful. I cannot recommend it enough.
Cool.
I did like Daredevil better as just an episodic piece of. I think we're on the 3rd season now of Daredevil. I think that just
I think that's done too.
took place, and that's done too.
Yeah.
They're all done
They're pretty
because
much.
they're moving.
It's a shame, yeah,
Netflix
but-
has refused to pick up the rights or is not able.
I think it's probably
I think
more
they lost the
Disney's
rights.
end. Maybe
they
the
lost
licensing
rights.
might have run out or
Yeah,
something. You
so
know?
I know
Who
that
knows?
people are hoping, in fact, that Daredevil comes back up. But I've watched all these shows. There's also another. There's who's the Tibetan guy?
The what's it called? I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got like the surfer hair.
Yeah, he's got the one.
They all had a show where they all teamed up.
called The Defenders.
Defenders, yeah.
That was very good also.
Yeah.
I loved it. I
forget
really
his character's name.
Yeah, he's famous guy.
Yeah.
And he's got his Chinese, Japanese girl that he teaches him Taekwondo, etc. But the first season of that was great. Second season just got off. But if only we
bad.
could remember what the hell the name of it was.
It'll come to me when I'm not thinking
Yeah,
about
at
it.
3 a.m.
Brain, figure it out.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so let's move on, I guess.
Let's move on.
Well, now we're just going to
done.
cover just quickly what's new to home video.
Okay.
Just a few things have been released. Shazam just came out today.
We have Clute sitting over there.
Yes.
I just watched Shazam again.
Shazam's a lot of fun.
Last Friday, I watched it again with a friend of mine who comes over on Friday to watch movies. And
This movie came out. I didn't see it. Nobody saw it. Called Breakthrough.
Right.
It's about a kid that's trapped under the ice. I believe it's a religious film.
Oh, look, here's Luke.
Mike Coulter. Yeah, there we go.
There he is, right there.
Fast Color, which we've discussed. We
You
haven't seen
have
it.
this film,
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, with Gugu and Botha.
Who?
I forget. Her name is Gugu and Botha Raw. And then we have this Criterion of Clute, which you just happened to buy.
I bought it
We
today.
didn't discuss this film
Did
at all
not
ahead of
discuss
tonight.
it. But I'm a Criterion junkie,
You
ladies
are.
and gentlemen. I love
Clute
the
is a very good film.
I
Donald
love the
Sutherland, Jane
Criterion.
Fonda.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And Jane won an Oscar for this film
She
as
did.
Best Actress
Yeah.
in 1971, I believe.
Mhm.
And it's just a spectacular. No, I think that was Liza was 71. Maybe this was 72.
I think it says it on the thing.
It probably does. If
I
you
think it is 71. I think it says it
All
right on there.
All right, so 72 was Cabaret?
No, yeah, Clute, 71. I have it here.
Okay, so Jane won for that, and
Yeah,
a
she did.
spectacular performance. She
But
plays a hooker,
she
and
does.
there's a great scene in there, of course, where she's making love to one of her Johns,
Yes.
so to speak, and while she's going, oh, moan, moan, moon, she looks at her watch. Oh.
That's funny. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very well done. It was kind
Yeah.
of. It was in the vein.
Yeah,
of,
we're talking about
I'll
Clute.
have what she's having. The
Yeah.
old orgasmic when Harry met Sally kind of
Exactly.
scene, but. Yeah, pretty.
It's a good film.
I love Alan J. Peckinpah.
Yeah, it's a shame he died. Yeah, he made some good
well,
films.
people die.
They do. All right, so that's everything on video. They're all on the streaming platforms. You can all watch them at home on all those channels.
Yeah.
All of them: YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, all that kind of good stuff.
There you go.
Amazon, of course, has everything. And then now, just what's opening this week in theaters. The big one is going to be The Lion King, the live-action remake with an all-star
No
cast.
desire to see it.
I'll see it, but I'm not dying to see it. I'll be
No,
honest.
I don't want to see it.
I can review it for us. You don't have to go see it.
I may have to go.
You might
see
have
it.
to. This is a documentary that's
Oh,
coming
look
out,
at this.
limited release, all about
out.
David Crosby.
Wow.
You might be interested in that.
I might be interested.
If you're a
in
Crosby,
that.
most music junkies might like
It
this.
seems to me that this should be playing on some
It's limited release, yeah.
format. Yeah.
And this is also limited release Into the Ashes with the wonderful Frank Grillo, James Badgedale. And this is a movie that sounds really good. It's just about a woman on the street with her kid.
Okay.
It sounds interesting. It's again very
Well,
limited
it's inspired
release.
by too many true stories.
Exactly.
Is what it says.
So it's a limited release. This is really the only major release coming out this week in
You know,
theaters.
we also have on Netflix a movie called Point Blank, which looks kind of cool. It's typical action, but Frank Grillo,
Well,
and I
he's
like
great.
Frank
He's
Grillo.
good. I like him
really
a
do
lot.
like him a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, what was his big film that he was in? He played a bad guy.
Well,
He was-
the big film for him was he
was
had a
a
really
Marvel
good big
film.
he had a big role in the second Purge movie, and he was in the third one.
Well, of course.
But he was also one of the bad guys in the second Captain America
Right,
film.
right,
Yeah.
that's
he
it.
played the guy with like the skull mask.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, no.
Well, he's great.
He was great.
He's great. And then next week we're also going to be reviewing the new horror-ish film Midsummer, which is out now. I've seen it. You're going to see it for
I
next
am
week.
going to see it.
And we'll be reviewing that next week as well.
Absolutely.
That's our show, guys.
That's our show,
Hope you
guys.
enjoyed it, as
Hope you
always.
enjoyed it. There we go.
We'll catch you next week with more reviews and more hilarity.
Don't let us catch you with some disease.
Exactly.
So be careful and love each other.
Have a good week, guys.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Louie, where are you?
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, let's just